All right. Hey,
Hey Joe, how are you?
how are you?
Doing well.
Yeah. How's other cabin fever going with being in?
I actually got no problem because I've been doing most of my work from home anyway, so writing from home, all of that jam with whether it's temple work or athlete crush work, all of that's done in front of a computer, so easy.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So
I hate to be that person.
yeah, no, yeah, no. I've been having to work from home too, as well, because so we're still working, but of course the sales reps are having a tough time making sales. So now that this loan's coming in for businesses, we're seeing a lot of spenders now. So we're gonna see how that goes for the upcoming months. Oh,
That's
I
good
see
to
that
hear.
one of the young prospect boxers, Nafir. This is a great interview for you to watch about branding and stuff. So he's a young boxer that's starting now. He's 3-0 with three
Oh,
knockouts.
nice.
He's 20. Yes, so this might be really good for him to listen to. Yeah, definitely.
Great.
All right. So let me do an intro for everyone. How I first met Dr. Kunkel. He was he's a professor at Temple University. So I majored in sport and rec management. So he was my teacher for a couple things. So we had organizational and strat was how we first met the fall of 2014. And then I did my junior internship with him where I had the pleasure to work with Michael Lahoud on his branding and all, which was amazing. And then I did my capstone with Dr. Kunkel too before I graduated and got my bachelor's in sport management. So we got a long, long journey together. So it's been a fun.
Yeah, he's come a long way, let me tell you that.
All right. So let's talk about Athlete Crush. So this is one of your babies that you've been working on since my junior internship with you. So tell everyone how you came up with the idea.
So Athlete Crush really the focus of what we're doing. It's a platform, social media platform for athletes to really brand themselves in a way that's sport specific. So it goes beyond what Instagram has to offer and highlight some of the work they're doing in the community, as well as help them with some of the fundraising. So that's really the focus of what we're doing. And the idea was basically working with some athletes and helping them with their charity and seeing that the current social media platforms really didn't provide that outlet and that opportunity. So that was the goal behind it, to really be that platform to help athletes brand themselves in a way that current offerings don't.
Okay. So for people at home that are interested in starting their own branding company or phone app, could you just touch on like some of the stepping stones that you had to go through at first just to get this going?
It's a long process, so I'd say first, don't do it. And then second, if you're really convinced to do it, it's really finding a good development team, a good development partner. So we are lucky we've got a great team that is developing offshore, and it's based on my connections in Europe. So we got an outstanding team there that does a lot of that work for us, and but it's difficult. You got to find the right fit for the work that you're requiring. So that usually whatever the time frame is that you're planning on,
Hmm.
double that, and whatever the budget is, quadruple that, and then you got a realistic budget and time frame. So those are the steps I would recommend.
Okay. Gotcha. And then, so you had a couple test runs with the app, of course. So I would just like to touch on how that was. Sorry, my cats in the background are for fighting.
Bring it on
um,
screen.
yeah, I know, right? Um, I guess just touch up on how what were like the pros and cons and the emotions that you had to go through because I know like a couple times you were ready to launch, then you had to wait because of errors and all. So just so I guess talk about the highs and lows with making a phone app and all. Yeah.
The heights are really when you hit that submit button in the end to go live on the App Store. Until we did so, the lows were that we went live with our version 119.
Oh wow.
So it took 119 test versions and iterations
Whew.
until we went live with version 1.0. We're currently working on version 1.9. So since then, there have been many more iterations and frustrations in terms of what doesn't work, and you always find a little bug here and there. So that's the beauty and the beast. As in, as soon as you think it's done and you're super happy, then you find another bug. So that really never ends. But the highs are really like when you get to see some athletes that are on the app and they're promoting themselves, and we've had quite a few athletes getting some sponsorship off the app at this point. So we have a boxer who's based in England. He got a sponsorship with a company just based on his presence within the Athlete Crush app. We have, part of our ambassadors that are on there. So there's some pretty awesome athletes on there that you can see. Like one guy, the Super Bowl winner from the Kansas City Chiefs. So
Okay.
we have MLS superstars on there. We have some superstars that play for the FC Bayern Munich women's team for several years. So there are some amazing athletes from that level over to people who've won Paralympic gold medals and Olympians, all the way to those that are just freestylers and free runners and athletes who are doing it for the love of the sport, and just they're looking at starting their career, starting their professional career. So right now we're working on a campaign helping college athletes down the road.
Okay.
Where the platform's really focused on pushing the college change that we see coming out of California, where they will be able to brand themselves and also allow some monetization. As in,
Right. Yeah.
that market is really like they're looking for guidance, and they're looking for companies that help them monetize.
Okay. Yeah. No. It's been very fascinating with the branding, and for athletes and also the ones that are watching this. This is very beneficial to look and all too. I mean, especially the young boxers that I've had on here. It's very good to start your branding and starting to get back to the community. So I feel like Athlete Crush would be fantastic for them to wind up starting, and then even like their sponsorships, because like the one I had yesterday, Sonny Conto, he has like 23 sponsors on the back of a T-shirt alone. Then he has them all over his trunks when he's fighting. So when he's on ESPN, people are looking at Phil Steaks in South Philly, or that small mom and pop construction company down in South Philly. So it's really nice to see how it could benefit you. It could benefit your sponsors too for branding and all.
Absolutely. And our latest feature that we just launched was that you can basically, as an athlete, you can link out from each individual post to a web page. So if you want to have an affiliate link for any of your individual sponsors, you can add that to your post, similar to the swipe up, but you would basically have that in there forever in your favorite section. So there's certainly some aspects that it's all about providing value to the athlete and helping them out. So I totally agree. I think some of these up and coming boxers and emerging stars, and that's certainly something because of COVID right now. We know that a lot of athletes, they're stuck at home. They don't make an income.
Right.
So we're launching a campaign currently right now where we're looking at providing any free branding consulting.
Oh wow.
So,
Okay.
if anyone is interested, reach out to us at Athlete Crush, and we basically help them with setting up their profiles on the app and helping them connect with some sponsors if there's a sponsor that fits that category right now.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, I will definitely pass that along too, and I will tag Athlete Crush in there too for them
Cool.
to look at. Definitely. Okay, so like we touched a little bit on branding with the athletes. So my other question I had, so for So for the non-athletes, meaning the fans, so when I first downloaded the app, it was really fascinating. It's like kind of like Tinder, but it's not. Meaning as like you could swipe right on the athletes. So why don't you touch on how you came up with the fan engagement and also with them connecting with other fans, like not only in the United States but also like around the world, because like I would post a couple pictures and I would have like people from like Poland or even France like comment and say, "Wow, it's really nice that you met like Lomachenko or like a Danny Garcia."
Yeah, it's basically it's a non-romantic swipe right, so to speak. As in,
Right.
we're basically exposing the athletes to fans from around the world, and we're using that engagement, the swipe engagement from the fan side, as in, hey, there are awesome athletes from around the world that are doing amazing things in the communities that you should meet, that you should learn more about. So you swipe right, you follow them, you get to see their content on their feed, and it's really you can if you're let's say you're Australian and you want to see Australian boxers, you can filter for the country, you can filter for the sport, and you can filter for any cause they support. Let's say I care really about animal welfare, so I select Australian boxer who cares for animal welfare, and there will be an Australian boxer who cares for animal
Right.
welfare on the app. So you can really connect with athletes through that level, that deeper meaning on like, hey, this is more than just me following a random new athlete. It's about finding people who believe in the same thing that I believe in. And we've gotten some feedback from our athlete ambassadors. So we've
Yeah.
gotten some feedback from like athletes saying, hey, I really like some of the other athletes gave me a thumbs up or a high
Oh
five.
wow.
And that was really cool to see that other athletes that they also care for what the athlete is doing and supporting that. So we're growing a pretty nice network of athletes supporting one another as well as fans supporting what the athletes are doing.
Okay. Yeah, no, it's actually been really fun. Like when I pop into the app, it's like really cool to see the engagement and to see the different sports out there too. Like when you're able to filter it and all. Yeah, no, it's really cool.
Yeah, thanks. We think I mean we've worked on this for about 3 years now,
Hmm.
so we think at this point we have a pretty awesome user experience as well, and it's just gonna get better as in building more features that help athletes monetize. So I know you're a big fan of signed
Yes. Yeah.
memorabilia,
Yeah.
so we're currently working on a project of signed pictures and
Hmm.
making that available through the app. So those are some new features that we're working on as well.
Oh, okay. Yeah, cool. Yeah, no. For everyone that doesn't know, or some people that do know, sports means a lot to me. I mean, everyone that meets me knows how passionate I am, and not only do I go to games, or I like to get to know the players too. So I like taking pictures, or if they're kind enough to sign something, of course. Like I have so much signed stuff over the years. It's crazy. I could probably open up a friggin' museum in a few years and just have it sectioned off with different sports. Yeah, it's just a fun hobby of mine for sure.
You could absolutely do that. I remember we've been waiting in line just so you could get a signature from Boston Schweinsteiger. So,
Yeah.
like at I don't know an hour after the game was over. So you're definitely one of those super fans.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Yeah, you. I think you said there's no way that I'm gonna be able to get it because there's like 40 other people wearing Manchester United German national team stuff, and I was like maybe like the fifth person he signed for. So it was funny.
Yeah, no, that's you're definitely one of those super fans that
Yeah.
we'd love to see on the app as well. As and I mean, it's also for fans sharing their fandom and connecting with other fans. So if I say,
Hmm.
hey, I'm a Bayern Munich fan, I can also find other Bayern Munich fans. Or if I'm say, hey, I'm a Temple athlete or a Temple fan, I can go on the app. I type in Temple University or just Temple, and it shows up, and you see all the athletes of Temple. You see all the fans, other fans of Temple as well. So you can see that it's more than what the whole Instagram following lies
Yeah.
for. So it's more sports specific, and you can find some people that you normally wouldn't find and see. So,
Yes.
and it fits with. I mean, you asked earlier, hey, how are you doing with the corona? How you keeping yourself entertained? I mean, right now we've been looking at. We've actually created a list on our webpage of how athletes around the world are responding to corona. So how they're doing, how they're contributing their communities, like Joel Embiid donating
Hmm.
$500,000, and we see some German soccer players launching "We Kick Corona" campaigns. So there is a lot of that aspect that we're highlighting through Athlete Crush as well. So if you want to check out a list, long list by now, as in athletes
Yeah.
around the world, how they're supporting their communities, that's also something. Check out the Athlete Crush app and the web page. I know Near, my friend Near from India has just joined in, and he's he's saying there's quite a few Indian athletes that have donated. I know quite a few cricketers have donated as well. So we got to get some more of those on that list as well. Near, I'll catch up with you later on and see if we can get some of your inside knowledge. Near's actually he worked with some of the superstars in India.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah. So Hale. So like also for like my next question too. So I mean, like, of course, we're not trying to force athletes to try to donate and stuff during this bad time. But like, how important, like, with a ton of downtime, because only God knows when sport in the United States is gonna be back up. Like, we could be talking mid-June, latest, well, earliest, and then possibly July or August. So how important do you think for athletes? It could be old, it could be young, how important do you think it is for them to work on their brand right now, and to maybe work on their charitable things as well?
I think there now is a prime time to work on your brand. If
Hmm.
you're an athlete, you're not working on your brand at the moment, you need to actually get started. There's a
Right,
lot
of
of
course.
options out there that you can do in terms of branding. Now, with the charitable aspect, it's certainly something that I know some superstars that have $1 million contracts. You got to do something. You've been riding the wave where everyone's been doing well. That's how you got your superstar contracts. Now's the time to give back, and a lot of them are actually doing it already. So really appreciative of that.
Yeah.
Um, but it's also there's a lot of athletes that are hit as hard and some even harder than the rest of us. So when we talk minor league baseball, a lot of female athletes that don't make those $1 million contracts. We see those minor league athletes. We
Yeah.
see those Olympians, Paralympians that are living off. Hey, they're getting their money because they're promising their sponsor to be engaging and to be promoting them in June. Well, you know what? That Olympics, June's now moved to June 21.
Hmm.
What happens to that? So they're losing a lot of that as well. So for them, we can't expect them to donate based on more than what they actually have. So that's
Right.
certainly, we expect the superstars to do something, and everyone else now is a prime time to engage your fans, engage your audience, and really leverage what you're doing off the field, and connect with fans on a deeper level. So I see FanGage Inc. has joined in, and they're doing an amazing work where they're connecting athletes with signed memorabilia as well. So
Oh wow. Okay.
they're doing some cool stuff there, and they're about engaging their followers. So I see a lot of athletes doing a really good job,
Hmm.
but I also see a lot of athletes just coping with it without
Yeah.
using this opportunity and without leveraging that.
You're right. Yeah, I feel like a lot of the young guys, like, they should really work on their branding. I mean, like, this is a perfect time, instead of just being in the house playing the Fortnite or whatever they're doing. Like, they should start taking great steps with whether if they don't even have social media, just start working on it and start branching out too for like sponsors and all too. Yeah, I feel like that would be great.
No, and I agree with that. And Near is actually just saying that a lot of brands, they want to push their message for those issues, but
Mm-hmm.
this like as working with an athlete, it's almost like, well, we don't want to take advantage of that call it opportunity or that
Right.
downturn. We don't want to take advantage of that downturn and monetize that. And we see that brands have screwed up over the last. I mean, in general, brands have screwed up. You see, Adidas basically said that they would stop paying.
I'm on a thing. Sorry, that's my dad in the background. He had no idea I was on live.
Yeah. So you see, Adidas basically said they would stop paying rent in Germany because the German government has initiated a law where if you're renting right now, you're impacted by the Corona crisis, you may delay your rent. And Adidas was like, oh, we're now delaying it, but they made $1.9 billion profit last year. So
oh wow,
obviously that has led to a lot of backlash, and brands need to really know what the impact is, that if they want to exploit the crisis from a commercial perspective, they really need to be aware of that. So I think that's certainly something to consider.
Oh yeah, definitely. Now I know that we were talking previously too. So for people that are interested in possibly downloading the app, you're still working on Kinks at the moment, or is it still good to be up and running and also download it?
It's live in the Apple App Store. We're working on an Android version, but don't quote me on this. Android's a bitch.
Yes.
So we're working on that, but it's live on Apple on iOS devices. So that's certainly something to download, check it out, and if there's anyone interested in us helping them with their branding, we're happy to do so.
Okay, yeah, I'll definitely pass a couple names to you as well, and I'll probably introduce you to a couple of the fighters that I was talking to that I feel like it would be great for them because they got a great support team, and some of them have amazing stories too. Like one I became really close with, Shenard Scrap Bunch. He was my first interview when I first started doing this podcast / Instagram live. He has a great story from a kid from New York moving up to Trent, New Jersey, and now just slowly racking up in the rankings too. So I feel like he would be great to maybe start working on his brand as well.
Okay, absolutely, yeah. Let's do that. I just see Nir asking a question about whether commercial deals have been cancelled on our side of the world. So he's based in India, and I see that quite a few commercial deals are on hold right now, and we see a lot of media is pulling their media deals already. So that will certainly have a ripple effect and a big impact on the losing team. So. On the individual athlete side, I've been talking to some agents that some of them actually say now is actually a good time to create content, and they just need to get a lot more creative with how they're doing it. And as I mentioned earlier, it's about not exploiting the situation, but it's about creating authentic content that is probably a little bit different to what you would have seen a few weeks or month ago, but it still honors some of those endorsement deals.
Yeah, it's definitely a hurting time for not only athletes but also like businesses. I mean, obviously, like businesses like Nike are going to be okay because of how much they're bringing in, but I know like some like that might be not as fortunate as Nike that has like athletes and all, or even people that are just social media activists that they're not able to get them on live TV at the moment for like commercials and all due to this coronavirus, which is terrible.
Yeah, and I agree. It's about are we taking advantage of the situation, or what are we doing? I mean, with Athlete Crush, we have a crush line, so we got a merchandising line.
Okay. Yeah.
We're now saying, well, we're pushing that, but we're basically donating all profits to the Corona crisis as well. So
Oh wow. Okay.
rather than taking advantage of the deal and take advantage of the situation, we're like, all right, we're reducing the price a little bit, but we're really pushing and saying, look, any profit from that crush line is also getting donated. So we're doing our part. We're trying to push athletes to do their part. We're also doing our part. So we try to use it in a way without overselling or without taking advantage of the situation. So it's part of our charity approach as well.
Okay. Cool. Yeah. I'll definitely share a lot of the information after this interview. I'll post it on my Insta story as well. I'll send all the tags at Athlete Crush. It's on Facebook. You just type in at Athlete Crush, but Twitter at Athlete Crush, Instagram at Athlete Crush, and then I'll put down to that you can download the app in the Apple Store, or also in the App Store too. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. Thanks for having me. I know you got another. Your schedule is 12 to 12:30, no overtime. So I appreciate you having me on, and it's good to catch up and chat. And
yeah, definitely. We'll have to catch up soon.
To see some people tune in from overseas as well. So that's nice to see.
Yeah. Like it's been a great platform. So like I think it was not last Sunday, but the following Sunday, I thought of this. I was like, you know what? Like I'm sick and going crazy over sports at the moment. So why don't I just start using my connections, whether it's working in the sports industry or just knowing these athletes from working events or going to events, and just maybe see what happens. But and then not only do my followers share it, but also your followers see it too. So like both are able to engage through comments, and they're also able to view the interview, which is awesome. That I mean, this is a perfect time too.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it's good to catch up, and we'll talk soon.
Oh yes,
Thanks for having me on.
Definitely. Thank you so much, Thilo. Appreciate it.
All right. Thanks. You as well. Bye.
All right. Bye.